step into the light, just give it a try. Think that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. And who cares if you might mess it up? You're stronger than...
Well, hello. Welcome everyone. Narelle Warcon coming to you from Mackay, Queensland, Australia. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. Oh, hello, Jean. You're here. Thank you. Lovely. Lovely to see you all. What an amazing day it has been, and very busy again. Today I don't have a special guest. I know they're out there somewhere, and you know what? Some people are a little bit afraid of coming on and sharing their stories. So we do understand that, because our journey in life is a little bit different for each and every one of us. Hello, Sanoj, how are you? So it's lovely to see you all. And yeah, so from time to time we will have some guest speakers coming up, because I've been lining them up and getting them ready to talk about their journey in their life and their life into ONPASSIVE, and where they are now or where they've come from with business and things like that. So it's really lovely to have you here again. My name's Narelle Warcon, and I am from Mackay, Queensland, Australia. So thank you for those coming in up early in your afternoon. We welcome you all. As you can see, I have a new banner, and this is my book, Blonde Roots, that way, whichever way it shows for you. That's a banner that I had done quite a while ago with my the launch of my book, Blonde Roots, and we will come over to that. I do have a website, and I will show you that shortly. But today I actually have what I thought was a really interesting subject, and it's what are you holding on to? You know, what in your life are you holding on to? So we've come into a new month. We're now in September. So we have a new month, new beginning, a new mindset. I think a lot of people like to start on the first of every month and change something that they may have wanted to either the last month or the last few months and things like that. So I think it's a question that we could ask or need to ask ourselves many times over our lifetime is, what have we been holding on to in life? And I have a story for you. Now, you might think this is a little bit weird, but let me explain, okay? So one of the things that I'm going to share with you what I've been holding on to. My mum passed away in 2013. My dad passed away back in 1979. No, 1997, sorry. It's been so long. Anyway, Mum passed away in 2013. And the thing is, it was, a very sad time. Mum didn't have a lot of possessions, but what she did have, we shared out between the six of us girls, and our brother was still alive at that time. And, it was very, just one moment, please. It was very hard for everybody because Mum had a fall. She didn't just, she was 87. She was so vibrant. She was so amazing. She was such a beautiful woman. Her laughter, everybody loved her laughter. I wish I had it, but I don't. But anyway, on with the story. So Mum passed away, and Mum had not long bought a new mattress for her bed. And when the question was raised, who needs a newish bed, I put my hand up, because at that time, I only owned a lot of secondhand stuff, and it was just nice, I suppose, that I could take on this memory of Mum that I was sort of sleeping with. And I know that sounds really weird, but to me it was like a big mum cuddle. Okay. And just anyway, sorry about that. Just had to answer that. So what I was saying was that it was felt to me, I suppose, like a big warm mum hug. And the fact is, I wasn't always nice to my mother when I was younger. I wasn't bad, like I wasn't nasty or anything like that. But I was just that black sheep of the family who did things that maybe I shouldn't have. And it wasn't as if I was out to hurt my mum or my dad. I suppose, was different. And I wanted to try different things. And I felt different. And I acted different in a lot of different ways, if you can sort of understand that. Anyway, I've been holding on to mum's bed. And just last month, my son and I were out because, I've been organising my office, and we bought a cupboard. So with this cupboard, we actually were lying down on a few mattresses and trying a few things out, as you do when you go into these furniture shops. Anyway, we were lying down. The lady came over and said, did we need a hand? And I said, we actually do. I really like this bed here, and I got it on special, and I tried out a few mattresses, and for the first time in my life, I've actually got a brand new bed. I haven't had a brand new bed for, oh gosh, I couldn't even think back to how long it's been that I haven't had a secondhand bed or somebody else's bed that's been passed down, So, thank you, Jean. It does sound a little bit weird when I sort of say it out loud. And it's just one of those things, I suppose, that we do hold on to things in our life. Some of them are because they're a memory. Some of them bring us comfort. And that bed brought me lots of comfort. No, sheep. Thanks. Hey, nice to see you, Kenton. That bed brought me comfort for so long. And, I probably would have slept on it until, well, it was starting to sort of, dig me in the hip area a little bit. But was I really ready to let it go? I thought I would have an emotional release, just like the tree when the tree went. I was full of joy and happiness because it was finally going, but also a sense of sadness because you have to cut down a big tree because it becomes dangerous. It's not always that happy, joy. So, letting go of mum's bed, knowing that in my heart, I really want to reach out to one of the organisations here in Mackay and see if there's somebody who can actually use it. I'm sure that, a lot of the things in life now, they say, oh, you can't sell this secondhand, or they don't take that secondhand. And it's like, but it's still usable. If you're sleeping on the floor or sleeping in a tent, if you have kiddies or things like that, we know, and even here in Mackay, that there's more and more homelessness happening, more so these days than ever because of the rents are so high. They just can't afford the rent. When you're paying $500, $600, $700, $800 a week rent for a home, say for a family, even if you have your mum and dad there. Excuse me. Yeah, Jen, I know. Me too. and it's okay. I'm okay with secondhand stuff. I love it. But sometimes we get to a point where we've just got to make that decision. Anyway, the bed was my decision. I had to wait for a month for it to come from Brisbane, so one of the capital cities here, to be able to set it up. And my son and we went in there on Sunday, and we were cleaning walls. You know how sometimes you just don't have the time, you don't get into doing cleaning. So anyway, back to what are you holding on to? I think there's a lot of things like old habits, old patterns, things that we used to do or maybe are still doing because it's easier, it's safety, right? The other thing is regrets. Now, I live with no regrets because even though there are many regrets that I could have, I choose not to live with regret, because regret is something that keeps you stuck in the past when you think I should have done it this way, or I could have done it that way, or I shouldn't have said this, or I shouldn't have said that, or something happened in your life that you haven't moved on from. So that's another big one. And I think that sort of is something that only you can sort of look at to say, well, what is it in my life that I am holding on to? The other one is negative emotions, so what are you holding on to? We get told daily when we spend time with those people who are positive, but sometimes we don't have a choice. Sometimes it's about dealing with somebody, giving things new life. Yeah, it certainly is. Thank you, Jean. Sometimes it's about, negative emotions, as in you're carrying something. Somebody said something to you and you're carrying that. So it's like a negative emotion. I myself have gone through that, particularly with the life that I have lived in, with the abuse and stuff like that. You think that there's a time in your life that you should become smarter, right? And it took me a long time to get to that part of my life where I no longer held on to the negativities of life. But I know people that used to live in the past, and living in the past is not good for your soul. It's not good for your heart. It's not good for your mind. And it's something that you need to learn to let go of. You cannot change the past. There is not one single thing you can do about the past, okay? So you can't change it. So it's best to sort of have a look at what ways it is easier to move forward in a positive direction. And sometimes that takes just being around positive people, reading positive quotes, having a look at things like that. There's unhealthy relationships, unrealistic expectations we put on ourselves all the time. We expect ourselves to be better, last longer, like myself. I think I can go, all day, all night. And sometimes we put unrealistic expectations on ourselves. And sometimes our body will tell us, hey, that's enough. You need to rest, and you need to take that on board. So, and then there's material possessions. Like I said, I hung on to Mum's bed Mum's been gone since 2013, and it's now 2024. So 11 years that she's been passed, but she probably had the bed for at least 12 months to 2 years prior to that. So I've had that bed for some time, and it was time to let it go. Bless your mum. It was a really beautiful bed, and I really felt the comfort, I suppose, that I got from that bed because of it being my mum's. Okay, so just holding on to, holding on to these, things that we're hanging on to, does it stop us from moving forward? Well, I think it does to a certain degree, because when you have a look at things, you really have to take a look at, where am I going? Who am I taking with me? What have I been through that I can change? Because change is really important. I've had to change many times in my life, and I've certainly grown so much that I hardly recognize the person that I was before, back in those days of needing outward validation, looking for love in all the wrong places, that sort of thing. So I've grown and become a very strong woman in that sense, because I knew I had to. If I don't pick myself up and keep moving forward, who was going to do it for me? So who's going to do it for you? Absolutely nobody but yourself. Anyway, moving on. So, sometimes it's not easy, and I can understand that, because I went back many times into negative situations. Now I think, I must have had rocks in my head, but I was certainly going through that process of change. So I want to ask you, what are you holding on to? If you want to share something in the chat, go right ahead. If you feel that there's something that's come up for you when we're talking about this, then we certainly need to have a look at, what we can do to help you. And also remember that we're all here supporting each other. Support means a great deal to me. Support means a great deal to everybody. And if we don't have that support around us, then we're going to lag behind. We're going to sit in that negativity, because we don't have somebody going, hey, it's okay, I understand. Hey, it's all right to feel that way. You just can't live there. So that is really important, and my message today is certainly that. So I want to take you over just quickly, and then I will come back to that subject. Sorry, I haven't been able to see those messages coming through, but I'll certainly have a quick look now as we go over to the website. So just give me a second here. Oopsie. There we go. So I'll just go over there. And I'm just going to scroll down here. My blogs are changing. I'm definitely doing little bits and pieces of different things, as you can see. Just different blogs where, I don't know, it just grabs me on that day. Something, as you rise, many people will disapprove, but rise anyway, because the strength is in you. Don't want to be like everybody else. You do not want to be that person that is the same for the whole of your life. Trust me. You have so much growth within you. One step at a time, you'll get there. Absolutely. Because trust me, I didn't get to where I am without taking many, many, many steps. Sometimes it was like the tango or whatever dance that is that goes 20 steps back and 1 step forward, and then 3 steps forward and 1 step back. It evens out eventually, because you keep getting up every day. You keep wanting to change your life. So great things never come from comfort zones. How many times do we sit within that comfort zone going, this is the way I'm going to live my life because this is what I was told to do and this is how I was told to act. Okay? They said, and maybe it was your parents, maybe it was somebody at school, maybe it was your preacher within your church. I do believe in God. I have a great strength with knowing that God has brought me through this. But please understand that, you have a right to be able to challenge those beliefs, to ask and question everything you read, hear, or see. And that is a really good thing to start with, is to start doing that. Question, do I believe this? Do I believe in this? And see what comes up for you, and continue to pray always. Okay, so there's some more, and we'll get away from them. Be bold enough to dream and brave enough to try. Oh my gosh, that is just so, so true. Many of us are not brave enough to try. We think, oh my gosh, what will that person think? What will they say about that? I've been through many experiences in life where people are friends, did things in life. One in particular got married when her husband, or husband-to-be, was not being very, very good to her, and he was beating her. And she came to me with her little kiddies and on my doorstep, and was asking me, and I said, for goodness sake, don't marry him. Now, I would never tell anybody not to do that or tell them what to do with their life. Anyway, she did. She married him, and then they separated, and she's been a long time without him now, and he was just a very nasty person. And we all have them in our lives sometimes. So again, what I'm saying is, what are you holding on to? I really want you to think about this week, this question this week. Thank you, Sanoj. I actually think I come across very, not sweet, but, I'm such a strong woman these days that sometimes people can take me as being really direct, but sometimes it takes that. It takes that for you to listen, for you to question things, for you to say to yourself, what is it? Can I change? But yeah, I do speak from the heart. You're absolutely right there, Jean. And I think the heart is something, I had open heart surgery. And from there, you look at things differently, because open heart surgery, having a triple bypass, having your chest completely cut open, brings you a sense of looking at things differently in life. I was 54 when I had that surgery. I'm now 63, 63 years old, and I am so happy in life now because I finally made it. Don't think that I've got, that I know it all, because I don't. And I learn lessons every day. And every day I have to ask myself, do I choose to get out of bed today? Do I choose to be happy? Do I choose to want to do this for somebody else? And I find, because I do suffer anxiety, and I work on that. However, sometimes it comes in, and look, it comes in without you really even knowing what to do or what brought it on or anything like that. But what I find for myself is that when I'm feeling sad or when I'm feeling down, I go and help somebody else. So you might see me do these posts for people, and uplifting others, because that's at that very time I'm feeling a little bit low myself. I'm feeling a bit sad, or I'm feeling a bit anxious about something that I don't really know what it is. So if you don't, there's a quote that goes, don't be judging other people because you don't know what's going on in their life. And I think that is a huge one for all of us here. It is really important to think about what is that other person going through, and you're never going to really know unless you're really close with that person. Now, here in ONPASSIVE, I think we've got a beautiful team, and I want to quickly speak about that because I watched a video from Mike Ellis today, and it was about teams, and it was about sharing, and it was, what's his name, Jean? Jeffrey Morlock, sorry. So I watched Jeffrey Morlock talk about teams, and what we have in the connections on Facebook, connections on maybe LinkedIn, WhatsApp. There's so many different platforms that we have available to us within ONPASSIVE. One of the biggest things I found is that if you don't connect and stay connected to those people who actually have your back, how do you know? Remember that when I first started with ONPASSIVE, I came in and I was a little bit afraid. Who are these people? They're strangers to me. My biggest thing in life was I didn't have a great trust in people because of what I had been through. So if I stayed in my lane, just did my thing, didn't put myself out there too much, I was safe. So again, what was I hanging on to? I was hanging on to a past belief that I couldn't trust people. And it's something that I definitely had to learn. I had to learn to trust again. And when you can learn to trust people that you've never met, oh my gosh, it's a whole big wide opening of experience, knowing that it's sort of like a calmness, I suppose. When I think about it, it brings me a sense of calm to know that that's another step away from that fear that I was living in, or, the last bits of pieces of fear that we all live with. Like I said, we get to that point where we think, what are they going to say? What are they going to think? You have, and again, there's another quote that says, what somebody else thinks of you is none of your business. And that's absolutely true. Nobody needs to know, or you don't need to know why that person is thinking like that of you, right? You have the belief within yourself. It comes from your heart, your soul, your mind, your belief in God, belief in whatever you believe in, because I'm not just sharing, I'm just sharing from what my beliefs are. But you can take that and you can build upon it. Another quote, when you hit rock bottom, the only way is up. Build your path, or build your steps with the bricks that people throw at you. And boy, do people throw bricks. There's some angry people out there in the world, but we can change the world, and it begins with love. Okay, it begins with sharing our heart. The thing is, you need to work on yourself first. And working on yourself is not easy. It can take time. And like I said, we are looking today at what are we holding on to. So like I said, I want you to think about this. Think about what it is you might be holding on to. Let it actually flow. Write it down. Hey, how you doing? I haven't seen you for a couple of weeks. Write it down. If you're holding on to some crap from the past, what is it that you can change and let that stuff go? Because you know what it does? It causes disease within your body. It causes sadness, unhappiness, and you don't need that in your life. You have one life to live, okay? And why not go out there and make it joyful and make it happy? So I'm just going to read a couple of messages right now, and then I'll finish off with whatever I read here. Jeffrey Morlock is a gift. He certainly is, and he certainly has the gift of sharing from his heart. Jean, thank you so much for being here today. I know that it's very early for you. Sanoj, thank you so much for being here today. I know there's probably others coming in from Facebook. We are working on that. And one of the things I wanted to share with you today is that I have a production manager that works with me on all of my lives. And what we're looking at is bringing random people on as we start to build an audience, because, it takes a little while to get out there. I ask you to share my videos if you think they're of any value, and share them anyway. Please, if you're new to my channel, subscribe, like, share, and ring the bell for notifications. We come live on Who, What, Where Wednesday. Sorry, I didn't say that in the beginning. But yeah, Who, What, Where Wednesday, every Wednesday night, Australian Eastern Standard Time at 8 p.m. So if you want somebody, or you think that somebody might get something from what I'm sharing, remember I have life experience. I'm no psychologist or social worker, even though I've been asked many times to do that. However, I come from my heart, and I come from a place of wanting to help others and do what, just share, I suppose, in to make you think. That's what I'm here for, is to make you think. So thank you so much, Thanuja. And I can never get it right because it's Athisham. Sorry, I'm really, really sorry. I'm no good at the names. But welcome to everybody. Ian, lovely to see you. Thank you so much for your live last week. It was really fantastic having you on and sharing some of our Australian founders with ONPASSIVE, sharing their journey in business. And I'm doing a call out as well. I will be putting it up in my OP, Australia and New Zealand Oceanic Ambassadors Facebook group. If you want to have a read there, please reach out. I'm looking for Australians, New Zealanders, anyone from PNG, Samoa, Fiji, Thailand, Singapore, any of the islands around Australia, and let me help you share a little about your life or your life experiences. Now, I'm here. You had a look at my live last week with Ian Gundrill. I sit here. I may ask a couple of questions of you, but all I want you to do is share a little bit about you, who you are, because I believe, like my program is called Voice Choice Power, the Diamond Within, that we are all diamonds. And it's things that happened in our life. Like for me, it was sexual abuse, all the abuses that I went through. It was coming through and learning how to love me again. And we all need that support, So we are all diamonds. And all we've got to do is scratch the surface and see that beautiful light of yours shine out to the world. And that's what I'm here to help you do. You are important. You are worthy. You are enough. And we need you. So just remember that. I'll just go back over here. Jean, thanks again. It really is lovely. I'm so enjoying these weekly sessions. Like I said, next week we should have a special guest. We'll see how that goes, but we're also asking maybe during our attendance next week that we can get somebody on just out of the audience here who would like to open up, come on and say good day and have a bit of a chat just for a couple of minutes and just show you light for those weeks that we don't have anybody on that we are sharing their journey. So just keep an eye on that, because that is really something that I'd like to do. Hi, Narissa, lovely to see you. And yeah, so this week, again, I'm going to bring it back. What are you holding on to? Think about that. Now, I shared my message about my bed. So what are you going to share with us all? Write it down. Kick it out. It's not needed in your life. Trust in what you've got in here, okay? It will never go wrong if you trust yourself, because you are giving the ability to be able to make those choices in life. And don't ever think that you're not worth it, because every one of you definitely is worth being here. And like I said, you are enough. So, so thank you so much. It's been really wonderful. Like I said, you can go over to my website, narellewarcon.com. Have a look if you want to purchase my book. I'm not here to, sell it that much. Just let me hook this back in here. Oh, there we go. Sorry. You can see my banner in the back here. That was my banner for when I released my book. And yes, I know I've still got to write that second book, probably a third. Hi, Joni. How you going? Lovely to see you. Thank you, Jean. I really appreciate any of those coming on from Facebook. Hello. Thank you so much for joining me on my Facebook Lives. I will be doing and bringing out a few smaller, more just here and there type lives, just to sort of say, hey, this is my day. This is what's been happening, just so that you can build that relationship and trust in me, because I think it goes both ways with trust. So thank you again. Remember to be kind to those out there. Trust in your heart. Keep smiling. Thank you, Kenton. Remember just one thing that, 360 is coming up. We've been told that it could be, I think, Thursday at 2 p.m., just for any of those that are on here that may not have heard. Keep an eye out. Go to your groups. Go to your messengers where you get those details from. I'm sure Marty, Chris, Red will put those details out. That's what I heard this afternoon. That's what I think it will be. And for me, that's even more fantastic because it's 4 o'clock in the morning. So let's hope they change it back to midday. Look, everybody, you see me around because I love being here. I love being here to help others. And when you get strong enough, you're able to help also. And then we become bonded as that ONPASSIVE family, which we have become. Don't ever lose that. Don't ever lose the thought. And as Marty has said many times, you don't need to be alone. Okay, there are many people here all over the world globally that you can reach out to and say g'day to, and just send a message. If you want to come on my show and you're from Australia, New Zealand, and from the many islands around our beautiful country, please reach out. Just send me a message and say, hey, I'd really like to come on and share my light, share a part of my story, because I think it's important. Because we all come from different backgrounds. We all have something to share. I'm sorry. We all have something to share. I've been talking too much, so it's now time for me to go. So love to you all. I really appreciate you. We'll see you again next Wednesday for Who, What, Where Wednesday at 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. And remember, you are loved. Good night.